Let's get going, I guess.
Yeah, good boy.
I guess.
Take it back.
Huh?
Say wait.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I heard you say wait. You did. You did.
Press again.
I love how like Moats is just like GT, good times, and then as soon as he wants, he's like, I want to start now. Like, he's like, jokes, just farting around. And he's like, can we start?
Oh wait. What? Just leave it to the last minute.
The word.
Wait. Good boy. Good Footy Energies.
Hello and welcome to the Good Footy Energies Podcast, the place where the concept of white footy boots was first thought of.
That's exactly right.
That is absolutely true.
I am Brad Hollis. With me, as always, is Ruben Moats and DJ Clarky Jesus.
That's right. Also known as Twinkle Toes, or white boots.
Just on the white boots, like when they sort of came back into vogue, early 2000s, it was like, oh, you better be getting votes if you're wearing white boots, Matt. And then everyone started wearing white boots. Yeah. And now it's sort of you stick out more if you wear black boots.
That's so true.
It'll come back round. It's all cycles.
And it's sort of like I've had the same thought about like high school kids with mullets recently.
Oh yeah,
like it's almost like the kid without a mullet is actually the biggest sick cunt.
Yeah, yeah. It's like
just
it's like
normal
hair. Yeah. Normal hair is like the hardest thing you can do at ATM.
I got a little bit of a mullet.
Do you?
A slight one.
Peer pressure.
Is that why you're rocking that Frio beanie?
Yeah, shout out to the Frio.
The Frio beanie and the Port socks. Real second club of the city type energy.
Well, speaking of cycles with the white footy boots, it leads me on to my next dot point. There's Joe Rogan.
Segway solace.
Past advanced civilization. This isn't really about footy, but just the past couple of days I've been on a binge of Joe Rogan and what's his name?
Graham Hancock.
And I recommend anyone go look it up. I'm not going to go into it now, although I could.
You may know him from TikTok as this creepy British guy with that music behind him.
Yeah, that's how I found it. It went me on a rabbit hole, basically. Our civilization, which is quite advanced, the theory is there's been advanced ones before, which I had heard before on the planet, and, things like floods just reset everything, yada, the pyramid being an example of maybe some old technology. It's just very cyclical. It
is, yeah. One thing that they don't really cover is there's like pretty much zero debris left from that period of time.
I say it's under the ocean, mate. No. Yeah, I know what you mean. We're talking thousands of years.
So much time. You know, it's so much time. Yeah, how quickly you lose something. Like, you got to think about it. Millions of years. Of course, there's no fucking rubble around.
Yeah, plus they're not looking for it properly, mate.
They're not.
It's all conspiracy.
They're not.
Just reverse psychology Reubs into believing in it.
But I do think back to some of the I feel like their advancement, because it'd be different every time. You know what I mean? Some of their advancement could be very astronomy based or like you feel a little bit nature, whereas ours is a bit more petrol station, iPhone type metallic Nicki Minaj.
Very metallic, very Nicki Minaj.
Like a lot of steel.
Yeah, tons of steel.
Maybe they were getting around the steel.
Maybe it was just all steel.
Yeah. Whoa. It's all metal. It's just such silver, man.
That's our Gobekli Tepe.
Gobekli Tepe. See, Clarky's all over it. He's sneaky over there in the corner.
I got the book in the corner over there too.
He has the book. He would too.
I got two of the books.
Dude, bust them out. Get some Gobekli Tepe.
What yours be, Rad?
I'm just drinking this lime pump.
How is that? I often accidentally grab one and then quickly put it back and get the normal flavour.
Actually, not bad.
Give me that fucking drink.
Because when I was doing the skip bin truck driving once,
actually pretty good.
Did the lime hit you straight away?
That quickly.
Like it hit your lips.
It's so good.
I don't need some of this now.
Yeah, it's only left. But
that was so spot on. Don't drink my lime
I didn't
pump.
You meant
exactly what you said.
I feel very, very wrong.
Yeah, you feel refreshed, but also subconscious about drinking.
No, I actually meant more like sort of backwash type thing. You don't want the bottom's probably not the freshest.
I see what you're saying.
To give
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
and for that I applaud you.
But I still gave it out.
Still gave it out.
Real
But
generous.
yeah, I was driving skip-bin trucks once in summer, the hot day, and this Asian guy picking up the bin, and he handed me a Mount Franklin lime. I don't know if it was sparkling or not. Whatever their version of it is. It wasn't as refreshing because it was kind of room temperature.
Yeah, horrible.
So, but I was like, liquid's liquid, and I appreciate that. Actually, there has been once or twice where someone will come out with a drink. Like this old man once, classic old. That's old school.
Yeah.
He came out. It's like a movie or something. They got that lemonade iced tea. I'm not sure what he gave me. It was either water with ice or like this really good cordial with ice. It was basically the better of the two, which at the time. And I've taken it. I'm just like, whoa, I was a hot summer day and it's like, that is just hit. Whoa.
Was it ice cubes in the glass?
I don't know what was going on, mate. It was just crisp.
There's only one thing I can't get past, which is where were you when an old man gave you?
I was actually close to your
My
house. Just around the corner from Ross Trevor College, our old stomping grounds.
The stomping ground. I'm still and this guy just saw you on the road. And
No. I was picking up the bin from his house.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see now.
in the skip truck.
That's
And he's
elite
giving it to
then.
me.
Hey, big shout out to that old man. If you're out there and you're listening, keep making that
So
keep making that lemon cordial.
if you get a bin from me, bring out the lime flavored water. These are great. The pump, back to the lime pump, because I drink it almost like a treat, but I'm getting quite hydrated.
Are you getting sponsored by Lime Pump? No one has ever enjoyed drinking a Lime Pump.
I'm just wondering
No
what my
one.
cut is on this.
I think it was about 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, like, I'm actually sponsored. I'm trying
Yeah.
to bring it in suddenly.
Oh, no.
Like, straight off the bat. It's it's even got its own dot point.
Got a dot point on it.
It's even got its own dot point.
Yeah, it does. All right. It's
I'm letting
obvious.
you in behind the scenes, the viewers, that this was planned.
It's cyclical.
Imagine he's sponsored, but all he got was that one bottle, like that one, like just one.
He's done more for less.
I'm getting sponsored by the Advanced Civilizations. Back into it. Okay.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah, so Essendon Hawthorn, man. What about those advanced civilizations that died 40,000 years ago? Bit like Savitch's game plan, no?
Guys, I can't concentrate.
Oh my god,
Mate, those
Dude.
the pill was harder to find than some ancient ruins on the Amazon, mate.
Oh wow.
Well, speaking of old styles, Geelong, they actually on the weekend versus GWS, they went back to their old style, like last year. You know how they changed it up? They got
course.
fresh.
Ever evolving.
And someone was saying that on one of the Fox Footy shows, and I was like, actually don't mind that. That's like a band kind of like touring a new album, but then chucking in a couple of oldies for the fans. They go, we're doing the old style tonight.
You better, just on that though, like any band that you go see, if you're playing just the new album, like you need to strongly reconsider your life
funny
as a band.
You mentioned that because Brad and I actually went to a 360 concert in 2012. And we didn't actually know that he'd recorded a new album at that stage. Well, I certainly wasn't a huge fan of it.
I think I did.
I think I did, but it was pretty new. We went there expecting all the classics, and he literally just played the new album from track 1 to track 10, and then walked off the stage.
joking.
Very disappointing.
Is that the one where Brad was really wet?
No, that's at we saw him play at Rocket. That was
That's
when
a
Projects.
famous-
That's when
that's a
Projects
famous
was a thing on
podcast
Thursday
highlight.
nights, 3 levels,
yeah.
and it was like actual Schvetz box. It was insane up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Yeah, shout outs to 360.
360.
But yeah, the
But yeah, the Essendon Hawthorn game.
Essendon Hawthorn game was game of the round for me.
Take it away. Tell us more.
Well, yeah, basically Hawthorn were winning most of the game. Essendon somehow stayed in it, but Nick Martin. Nick Martin is probably my favourite player to watch. I've only watched him in that one game. I've seen a little bit of him, but he's just absolute class. Like on a couple of plays off his left boot, one in the last quarter to find 2 metre Peter in traffic was just absolutely exquisite, and I can't wait to keep watching him for the next 10 years.
What I've noticed early from him is like with the class, he had a ball in his hands for about 40, 50 out going for goal. And I'm like, this is going to go through because he actually kicks his goals.
Yeah,
he
does.
they just go through. And I'm like,
yeah,
this guy is in a good energy or something.
Future.
They're going in.
I want to see the replay
it's
of
quite rare.
that kick to Peter Wright. So he's sort of corralled out towards the boundary, and he drops the ball like he's moving straight forward. He sort of drops the ball on like a 45-degree angle and swings his leg sort of sideways, and it just fucking nails Peter Wright, who is in traffic. No one else in the league is hitting that kick in that stage.
That's hot.
It was just really, really like composure, poise, and yeah, I'm really excited.
That's cool. Different styles of kick. I saw it on Instagram or a video of someone analysing. Mitch Duncan did this like, it was like 0.6 seconds when he got the ball and then got it to his boot to kick it a hawk. It was like real quick. And then the guy was on the video was saying, you know, you need to train all sorts of different, like he kicked on the inside of his foot a bit.
Yeah.
And he was just saying, you know, you should practice all different kinds of kicks. And I was like, wow, if I was playing football professionally, I would, you know, I would probably, not something I've ever really thought of, doing different styles of things. But that's what you got to do
if
you want to be. And you should be. It's like with the cricket, how there's all these different, like for say spinners especially, and like the seam and the swing. You know, it's like if that's your job, you should be learning all the different variations of the craft and studying them like the ancient civilizations did back in the right. They were,
mate. They were spinning everything back
then. They were studying the ancient carombal technique.
They were studying the soil.
Yeah, the soil and with the stars, and they read it.
How it aligns,
how
it aligns out of your hand.
And then the floods came.
Yep.
And Noah's Ark was...
And they started again.
Speaking of the floods coming, Brisbane and West Coast wasn't as much of a goal fest as we thought.
Hey, just on that game early in the week, I said, you know, if you got any form of brain and you were a betting man, it would be smart to obviously bet on West Coast. They were paying a ridiculous amount. Who knows?
They lost by 75 points.
That's pretty good considering how they've been losing in weeks prior. Didn't they have like no team as well? Basically.
Yeah, but I think most of that was just injury.
Oh,
based, not even COVID.
Cause that's where every time they're like, they have no team, and then you look and it's like, oh, they've got like Gaff, Shuey.
No shit.
Kelly.
It's like, oh wait, they got Kennedy, McGovern,
everyone,
and like a fair amount, like Ryan.
Like, it's like, dude, you put any of those guys on like a team I support, and that team's winning the grand final, as far as I'm concerned.
But yeah, that was. I didn't actually watch any of that game. Did you see any of it, Brad?
Not that game, no.
Nah, not that game. Not that game.
I watched the Suns Swans game on Saturday.
How was that?
Yeah, not bad. Like we were talking about last week, you can beat the Swans at home.
That's what I said.
But you still get up and about it, even though it always happens. So. And the Suns are like, we're back, baby.
That's it.
And they are back. Like,
they've never been there though. Like you got to have been there before to be back.
They're back.
It's funny.
They're
Suns
back.
always beat. They're like their bogey team now.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
Really? Is that what's the history on that?
Because they always beat them SCG. When I say people, there's always the Suns basically.
Yeah.
Lockie Weller's just gone. But the Swans just, I think they didn't kick very straight, but they just
lost. They didn't kick as many goals and behinds as their opposition.
Who played well for the Suns? Oh, Farah. I did a post on it as well. He just like, he's sort of been playing, you probably don't even know who he is. Wears number 40, I think, for Gold Coast. Just a random halfback guy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's just been trying long. This game, he really just came out. It was just, took it to another level, and I scored like real high athletic marks, like, you know, game-saving intercept marks. Like, Farah's come to the stage.
Farah's back.
He's back. Here he is. This is why he got drafted. All the other weeks, I'm like, why is this guy drafted?
That's why he was drafted.
Yeah. It's good to see someone show their talent, which clearly had been seen at lower levels, really finally come through and show. Because it'll take you a bit, potentially, to get you find your feet. Some people go straight away. Some people play better in the first than they do the seconds, which is so true. Because you go out to like an SANFL game, say like Port seconds, like it was like, you know, they're running around, it's like cold and like whatever. And you put them on the main stage, 50,000 people.
Yeah, it gets them up.
Just on that real quick, I always find it interesting when a player gets dropped and they like have a couple weeks in the the lower level and they're almost doing worse than they were like in the AFL, but then they get recalled and they do great because they learned it's like how did that like. They learned that I wasn't good enough, but I was even worse over here, and I'm back, baby.
Yeah. Now we're going to play you back into form with some worse delivery. Some guys that can't kick quite as good, won't give you the first give.
Yep.
And don't play the same game system as us. And we're going to play you at full back as well. And then we'll recall you to the wing in 2 weeks' time. Then find the footy champion. Jesus. Brad, you were mentioning Farah and doing what he was drafted to do. I watched the Crows Carlton game on the weekend, and someone who I've never really thought about, Chase Jones.
Yep.
Couple of real explosive runs from half
Unbelievable.
back, and why hasn't he been doing that the whole time? Absolutely explosive speed, and could really turn into a play there.
Yeah, I didn't actually watch that game, but you did say in the group chat. I know what you mean. Some people with pace, you see him run, and you're like, why aren't you doing that the whole time?
Just do that every single time you get the ball.
There was a guy who was on, I'm going to say GWS and Carlton's list. I think his last name was Pickett, but I don't think he made it because he got injured and stuff.
Jared Pickett.
It was only a couple of years ago. I remember seeing him get the ball once and run. I'm like, okay, they're not going to catch you, right? So get it and just run. They're not do you understand?
Yeah.
But I remember my old North Adelaide coach, Heath Younie, is actually at the North Melbourne at the moment, assistant coach. I was like, hey, bloody Heath. Jeez, you can make it somewhere working up the ranks of coaching. I guess we're all
started at the under 14s at North Adelaide.
We're all living it. It's I think this was 18s, I reckon, and I was just a sort of a outskirts player. But I remember one time he took me aside and said, Brad, when you're just doing the drill, just take off. When you get the ball, make that first 5, just intent or whatever. Which, I guess I kind of took that on. I think it went clearly. That wasn't my destiny, so it didn't quite hit me.
Yeah, right.
I didn't quite grasp. I'm kind of going almost unconscious.
Yeah, almost.
Man, everything I say, I keep thinking it back to the ancient. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Stop thinking about.
I just thought about the 50,000 crowd.
Dude.
Wonder what sports they used to play. You remember that game, the Road to El Dorado, that cartoon?
Never saw
The
it.
Road to El Dorado.
We're getting way off.
There's a game.
like it.
They have a game where they have a little circle up on the side of the wall, and you got to kick a soccer ball through it. It's really hard.
That's
game.
hard. That's real difficult.
But that's their game.
Dude, this is the best episode ever. More of this every week. I like it. This is real. Yeah. This is real. Moats is hating it.
I'm hating it.
Dude, that's why you would never make it to the Road to El Dorado, mate. Try kicking this soccer ball, dipshit.
I think we just lost half of whatever listeners we had.
Yeah, one of them being Jesus.
They're on board. But Freo, North Melbourne Freo game, that was as soon as I saw the first, I only watched the first
minute
kick. Yeah. It went to Mundy in the middle.
Yeah.
The kick just swerved. Mundy just swerved with it. It was like the old Robert Harvey, that video I did with Garrick Robert Harvey, which is in miles of space. Mundy streamed down the middle, or he gave the hands. It's like, this is a danger game for North. Yeah. If they've started and there's no one in the centre, and Mundy's streaming down off to the debut guy, a miss. It's like, ooh, this could get ugly.
Yeah.
And
he didn't miss, did he either?
This had potential to be the first game where, we're talking about footy's a sport where a team can potentially not touch the ball. This had that potential for me. I was really nervous.
I'm loving Freo. Everyone's on the Freo train.
That's the thing that's kind of annoying me, is that everyone's on the Freo train. It's where were you?
We were waiting in the depths.
Mate, I've always been on the Freo train.
You've never been on the Freo train.
Yes, I have. I love Freo.
I just bought this I didn't even realise I had this. I remember,
bought this?
I bought it last year because they were
Mad
it was like
purchase.
a retro type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And Cam McCarthy was modelling, and I was like, I'll get one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Then I had to wait because I got a hat, but I got a beanie, so I had to wait till winter. So it timed it well, actually.
It's great beanie, great colour scheme.
I just want to, on public record, I'm not on the Freo train, and I firmly believe that they will never win a premiership.
Yeah. Moats also said that about Melbourne.
DJ Jesus I cannot believe that last comment.
Hit
Was
me
so,
like a shockwave.
me and Clarky, we're on that Freo train.
Dude, you know it,
Seriously.
mate. They're riding that docker.
They're building those pyramids.
But on the Facebook, some guy posted. I posted a status saying, "I'd love to see there be a magazine, Fremantle Dockers make a magazine in the vein of Cleo, but they call it Freo.
That's
instead,
niche.
but it's Fremantle themed." And some guy actually, if you check out the Facebook, he
Oh,
made a
yes.
photo for it using maybe InDesign or some sort of graphic
Who knows,
design.
dude?
He's potentially
Who
the
knows?
editor of Cleo magazine.
It looked like it actually was really good, and I gave him a 3 clap emojis and a bow emoji.
Far
He
out.
would have got up and about for that.
Yeah. 3 bags of popcorn and 2 sodas. Thank you to Josh Scully.
I don't know,
Josh Scully,
can we get it up?
Skullman.
I'd love to see it.
Does look pretty cool.
Who's that guy on the front cover?
Alex Pearce, I think.
Alex Pearce looks like that New Zealand guy that's like in all the movies.
Jason Momoa. But yeah, just speaking of the Facebook, I posted a thing on KFC. It's a status about KFC about like it's a bit of a long one, but it was something to do with like the end of it was like the Colonel comes out of the big bucket, like when in the cricket where the Pakistan they had a big bucket. Really? In the Pakistan series, like if you hit the ball in there, they gave away a scholarship to some student. But it's like it was a test match cricket, and it's on the side of the ground. No one's hit the six.
They didn't want to give that scholarship away.
Yeah,
man.
that is quite funny.
But who? Wait.
I also always think with those sort of things as well, is like, oh, we've got the KFC bucket. If you get it in there, just give the scholarship and promote that you've done it.
Yep.
Don't make him jump through hoops like this is some sort of weird saw type game. Like, just give the fucking scholarship. Although that would be good.
It is fun. Yeah, it is. I like the concept. But anyway, so the goal, the end of the status was like you hit it in, but it's like footy. So you like you kick, someone kicks it in, and then the Colonel comes out, hands out chicken, and so. I did the status, and then like some people were sending in some like things of like stuff KFC had done previously where that was a thing. Like we're kicking it, and like even on the big screen, someone was going to hand out chicken at 3/4 time to one of the bays at the Port game that night. He sent it in, and I was like, it's funny because like that. It's just funny that it's great to see my ideas coming from the subconscious of the ads that are already happening, and it's like in Blades of Glory where he's like, "Let's go capture the dream." And he's like, where'd you come up with that? He's like, I got no idea. And then right behind him, just capture the dream. Yeah, so then on that status, for those of you listening or watching, you'll remember last week we talked about Matty Bishop and the Chris Tarrant sort of combo, which I looked up, I did a Facebook story, and there was a lot of photos of them together. I just typed in Matty Bishop, Chris Tarrant over the years, and I was like, this is cool.
It's like you were telling the truth.
My memories are all right. So Matty Bishop commented on that KFC status. Actually get that up. It's on the desktop. So he commented on it, just tagging his mate saying like, I don't know, you beat or whatever.
Yeah.
So this is pretty. So there's two options here, right? Matty Bishop heard us, or no, someone heard.
Just read his comment.
Yeah. So he tagged his mate like, you'd be all over this, Christopher. And so two options here. Someone, maybe Christopher, has listened to the podcast, heard Matty Bishop, and he's told Bishop, right? And then Bishop's heard that or whatever, and he's checked out the page. He just happens to comment at that time. That's one option. Or the second option is, which is way more out there. Which is just like, this is old school civilization stuff, baby.
This is OG.
This is like
before the pyramids.
Before the pyramids with telepathic, son. Bishop has just out of the clouds come and commented on the page after we've just talked about him. Haven't thought about him 20 years. I think about him a lot, but I haven't. What's the interaction level there? So I've commented, right? I tagged him and commented on things like, Matty, we literally just talked about you on our podcast. Now, that was me kind of just fishing out to kind of gauge how did he get here.
Yeah, you're just baiting.
I'm just baiting him. I didn't want to come on too strong and scare him away because Matty Bishop, right? So he comments back, he's like, haha, keep up the great work, mate.
Yeah, that's what I lost it at.
And I'm like...
That's almost he may as well have said
champ. That could work both ways. That could work both ways.
That's not closure.
Yeah, either he has... heard the podcast, obviously, and he's like, obviously I've heard it. He's like, keep up the great work, boys. Or he has no idea what I'm talking about, and he's just like, keep up the great work. He's not going to check it out.
He has no idea.
He's not listening. He's not even going to go check. He's just like, keep it up, boys.
Who knows? Just keep it up. Or, here's another crazy thought. Imagine that every week on a new podcast within Australia, someone's talking about Matty Bishop. So like he's just so used to this. Every week he's on Facebook and someone's like, "Oh mate, we spoke about it in the podcast." It's like, keep it up, boys.
I'd be willing to wager my life savings that we are the first and only podcast to speak about Matty Bishop this year.
Yeah, in this,
you'll be surprised.
In this civilization,
you would be surprised.
Yeah.
In this realm, in this iteration of civilization,
in this particular go. Of humanity, yes. Now, I wonder what the old school Matty Bishop... Can you imagine there was like a similar thing to a podcast back in one of the civilizations?
So I'm thinking.
How about Sally Bishop? No, that was stupid.
That was terrible.
That was dumb. That was just dumb.
Sally Bishop.
Sponsored by Pump, now coming live.
gee, it'd be funny, like, gee, you need a break or something, you know, like, gee, you need a.
Hey, dude, you're getting your bishops and kishes mixed up. All right, have a drink.
Get a pump in you.
Better.
You mean Paddy? I'm already winning. Paddy's way better than Sally. You're talking about Paddy, and let's take it real Irish style. You think about Paddy McCarty.
You think about Paddy over Matty.
O'Doherty.
O'Doherty. Moats is hating this episode.
Moats hates the ancient civilization.
I like the ancient civilization. I hated where that went just then. That was just shit.
I did the match.
Oh, we didn't even win original qualifying match.
Oh, what's that?
Oh yeah, I almost forgot.
And I've got to tell you something about the pod. It's a bit rough and tumble. It's a bit wild and woolly, but it's a blast. And the podcast really is fun.
Yeah, did you see the footage of Power Pepper? It was his 100th game, and he's had a baby recently, and he brought, I think it's a girl, and he brought her out on when they run out the banners. It's like pretty young,
right.
baby, and everyone's like, oh, she's like, she's fine.
It's like a day old.
She's fine. Like, they're running through. That's like classic old school Port.
Exactly.
That is the Port Adelaide way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bring out your children that are just
and she's
born.
fine.
Yeah, exactly, because she's a human being and breathes air, so of course she's going to be fine. All right, everyone needs to chill.
But Porter back three in a row now.
I told everyone.
We talking finals yet, Brad?
Yeah. If Carlton had a loss, we were only 2 games out of the top 4. Dad's not even thinking top 8. He's still thinking top 4. Brad, we're only thinking top 4.
I don't blame him.
I don't mind that. That's the Port Adelaide way.
That's it.
You aim
That's it.
hard and you take it on.
It's a very even competition.
One game at a time.
Which is funny that you mentioned that, Moats, because I believe that might have been my only point of this season, potentially. I'm just saying. It's very even at the moment. Good spread within the comp.
Well, Melbourne played St Kilda on the weekend.
Melbourne
still aren't even firing yet. They're just
They
must have such a... Sorry, you go.
I was going to say, they kicked the first goal in 30 seconds. Because they literally kicked a goal in... I think even... I loved how Hutto was like, 28 seconds or something. And I was like, mate, it ticked over. It's actually 32 seconds now. Like, you were wrong. Hudson.
He hit the target.
Hit the target?
You know how they have
you're joking!
Yeah.
Some guy sent me a tweet of their Twitter where they uploaded it because they sign it every time it hits. They dot the point. This is where Cozzy Pickett, and they date it. So he's got on the board. He's got where they've all hit it. So I saw Jeff Garlett on there. Like, that's a long time.
That's mad.
I don't know if you guys saw, but the person holding the target was wearing a yellow hat.
Were they?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
that is pivotal information.
That's the way he knows. What he's been serious.
That's so good.
Yellow hat.
But
yeah, I was you know how it's one of these dot points here. You know how where are
my dot points?
You know how someone takes a marker forward and then sometimes they just turn and walk back on their mark, and the commentators go, "Oh, I always like when they actually turn towards goal and walk backwards just so they can see all the options. They don't like when they take it and turn it away."
Yeah.
But I'm like, that gives me a bit of anxiety because I'm like, I'd hate to walk backwards. I just feel like that would be uncomfortable.
I also just think it's an intention thing. So if I'm playing the ball within 40, no matter what standard of football I'm playing, you best believe I'm going back for that fucking set shot.
Let me relax. Let me get into my zen. Let everyone take a breather. Let me get in my zone rather than being like for looks, for cheap, to please everyone. I'm walking backwards. Can I now in my head? I'm trying to think, watching on the couch. Like, can I walk backwards? Is that comfortable? Am I going to trip?
In front of 50,000.
It just doesn't feel right.
Another million
It's
watching.
unnatural.
It feels unnatural.
It's like a dog on its hind legs.
Yep. And we're all about nature.
But I also just like that intention piece as well. Like you turn around and then you're looking around like, looking frantically for an option.
Yep.
The option has been in front of you the whole time. 2 big sticks,
Mate,
kick in the middle of them.
I'm here. I'm being paid. I don't mind a little look around, but you know, play it by ear.
Can you do that again for us? The look around?
Yeah, that was really good. That was like good acting.
Look around.
Don't even remember doing it, and I wouldn't even try.
In the moment.
Man, I wish I'd done one of these pump lines for when I'm acting in the moment. I was watching the Sunday footy show. Well, I wasn't watching. I was just watching clips on their Facebook page that come up in my suggested. But there was two things that I saw. There was one kid, Arthur Jones. Thank God I read his name on the He plays with the Bulldogs. He got drafted last year, I reckon. He's a number 43 draft pick. And they were just showing him, his like, they must have videoed it, and him and all his mates were like sort of going crazy when he got drafted. But apparently he was telling the story, and because they're calling out the numbers, and he got butterflies in his stomach. He's like, guys, just settle down for a sec. He's got these butterflies, and then they called out his name straight after. It's like he could sense.
And I was watching the draft with my mates, but also on FaceTime with my family. And I don't know, I just had like this weird butterfly feeling. So I was like, oi, shh. I told everyone to be quiet, and then I was sitting there, I was watching. And then 43 come in, and I was like, and it was Arthur Jones, and the first thing we'd do is just step straight up. As you can see, I just stepped straight up, and full of excitement, and
Wow. And they just sort of, they didn't really, they're just talking on the footy show about to do lose handball.
Yeah.
And they kind of brushed over it. I'm sitting there going, what?
Whoa, yeah, that is important.
Yeah, that sounds like it was all happening. You tuned in the energy, which we do believe in energy.
Could also
here at the Good
be
Footy Energies Podcast.
Yeah, I was just about to
suggest that.
I was going to say something
along those lines.
No. Okay.
Whatever he said, it obviously wasn't ancient civilizations esque. That was the
whatever I was going to say has been said before millions of times.
Sound like
by our forefathers.
By the civilizations that got done by the floods.
Good luck finding that rubble, moats.
And those ice caps are melting.
I was going to say maybe he had a premonition because he'd spoken to the Bulldogs and they said they were going to pick him up.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. That's a good point.
But I was just going to completely shit on Brad's point.
I wouldn't mind using him as a bit of a what was that young man's name again? Arthur Jones. Arthur Jones.
What?
Jonestradamus. Trying to think. We could come up with a little.
Dude, they don't even like play him necessarily. They just have him around like on the bench, like I got to feel it. Butterflies.
Something bad's about to happen.
That's what I was going to say. Like we should get him on, ask him some questions, and see what sort of butterflies or what feelings come up when we ask him. For instance, like who's going to win the grand final this year?
Yeah, I wonder how he goes in footy tips.
Yeah. Need Uncle Glenn to get around him.
Actually, we have someone coming up, Uncle Glenn, later on. We'll get that later on. But the other thing about that footy thing was they were showing everyone's first time on the panel when they went on the footy show for the first time.
Oh, nice.
So they were showing Nathan Brown's. He was quite nervous. And Eddie Maguire, because whoever was talking, Eddie Maguire, Sam Newman, they were saying, because Nathan Brown must have done some poetry in like one of the newspapers.
Terrible idea.
Yeah.
And then he was saying how, because Crawford was next to him on the right, and young Dave Brown, quite timid. He's like, oh yeah, but I have to stop the poetry. I'm copping it from Crawford on the field. It's like, you're not getting away. Crawford's not letting you get away with that, mate. Even in this day and age.
No way.
Where it's, it's all inclusive, whatever it is. You're still probably not getting away with the poetry. Not yet.
Everything else?
I love it, by the way. But
everything else?
You can't. Crawford's like, mate.
No way.
You're going to get it. All right? You're going to get it this game. But
if
I wanted to hear that poetry.
Oh, absolutely.
And then he's like, he was like, they're like, what are you doing? And Sam Newman's like, what are you writing poems about? And he's like, and then Newman's like, what, women, girls? He's like, yeah, I like girls. Something stupid. And he's like,
it's probably a poem. He's just like, I like girls. It's a one sentence poem. If I played professional football and I was against Brownie and I knew that he wrote poetry, I would 100% memorize his poems and just read them back to him while I'm playing against him.
Just one line before every contest.
Exactly.
I would love that.
And like that's the sort of bullying I do. Really, really deep and meaningful bullying.
Banter.
That is.
That is
banter.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Exactly, mate. Don't be writing fucking poems around me.
Because it's like, I like it, but even it's just like, you obviously read it, and you take, blah, blah, but then you still like,
and maybe even come in with a sheet, and like I've done a bit of homework on your poetry, and here's my suggestions. Nathan, what do you reckon? Maybe after this game we can get a coffee together, read through some poetry. What do you reckon of me talking about poetry right now, mates?
I'm loving it.
It's like getting in touch with like the sort of the ex-employers of each football. Like the people that you're on, footballers or whatever, and you're just like, oh mate, your old boss. You should have heard what he said about you, mate. That plumbing apprenticeship didn't go well, did it?
There was a thing on
That is a great idea.
AFL Nuffy's post where some guy wrote in. I actually didn't mind it, where he was saying about because it must have been giant.
You identified with the Nuffy?
Yeah,
about getting more carpentry apprentices.
yeah. There's getting more carpentry apprentices in because was it Jai Newcomb? Yeah. He's basically saying these boys know how to get it done. That they're used to work in tough, hard conditions. They don't stop. They get the the craft and whatever.
Of course.
And someone sent me an email saying Tom Papley.
You're doing a Robbo on AFL 360, just fucking rubbing your face when you're mid-sentence. What the fuck's going on?
I think more so how before that, Brad was like, oh, I've got this, ripper story, blah, blah, blah. Now,
and then
I've actually got a bit of a head scratch. I'm just going to wind down a little bit while I talk about this.
That was my method of... The story was fizzling out. For those of you listening, don't look up the YouTube.
You need a pump line rush for that.
That's what you need. That last sip's yours.
All right, we're actually just getting a caller in. We don't usually have... It's not really a call-in show, but...
It's really strange.
Someone's calling in, so we'll take that. We'll just have a quick break and we'll get them on the line and we'll see what they have to say.
Random.
All right, we've got a caller on the line. Aaron, are you there, mate?
Yeah, hi. Long time listener, first time caller. Thanks for taking my call.
No worries. Thanks for listening. We appreciate all our listeners. We've never really had someone call into the show before.
Never ever.
Didn't even know how you got our number, but happy to have you.
Yeah.
You're a big footy fan, Aaron.
Oh, yeah, love my footy. Love it.
So what team do you support?
Oh, mate, I'm Brisbane through and through.
Oh, you'd be pretty happy with how they've started the season?
Yeah, for sure, mate. Brisbane are up and about. I reckon this is the year where we're going to rise up, the Mighty Bears.
The Mighty Bears?
Yeah. We got Roger Merritt kicking goals and Danny Dickfoss.
Who could forget Danny Dickfoss?
Yeah, like they're the pride and joy of Brisbane.
I think you're getting confused. I think so. You're talking about the Brisbane Lions because Brisbane Lions, I think they're second on the ladder at the moment or third. So you're happy with how the Lions are going?
No, it's Bears, mate. Fitzroy Lions. What are you talking about?
Oh no.
I think there might be some confusion. The Brisbane Bears actually merged with Fitzroy a few. It's actually
couple decades
ago now. It's actually the Brisbane Lions.
How could they merge? They're like different states. No, what are you talking about? It's the Bears. I just watched them the other day at Carrara.
I don't know what to tell you there, Aaron. You seem like a very enthusiastic young man, and
I love my Bears. We got Warwick Kappa.
Aaron, what do you think about? What do you say to the people that say a koala bear is not a real bear?
Oh, that's just haters are going to hate, as they say. I don't like that sort of attitude, because who's to say what a bear is,
Aaron, you seem to be naming players that have retired or not playing anymore. Did you just wait? Is like a 51st date situation, or have you woken up from a long coma?
No, I go down to Carrara to watch the Mighty Bears play. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
What's Carrara?
Carrara, that's where the Brisbane Bears are based. It's on the Gold Coast. Like on the glitter strip.
I've got a feeling Aaron's having us on here.
Aaron, just a quick question from me, from Reubs here. Just wondering, how much is a bucket of hot chips down at Carrara?
Oh, they're a bit steep, mate. They're getting up around $2 these days.
Yeah, right. $2 is probably 1980s prices. So I think you are stuck in a time machine.
You sit on the hill. You got your chips. You can have a smoke.
Is this Daniel Chick? Is this Daniel Chick?
You bring your rescue in.
All right.
Have a West Coast cooler.
All right. Thanks, Aaron. That was actually our friend Aaron Gox.
Goxie.
Oh! Playing the part of Aaron. How did you find playing the part of Aaron there?
Oh, mate, I had to become the role, you know. It was a bit of method acting.
What was it like? I know you're a big St Kilda fan, Goxie. What was it like playing a Brisbane supporter?
Yeah, I really had to sort of put aside my allegiances. Although a lot of people don't know this about me, but I used to have a Brisbane Bears beach towel. So I don't know. I don't even, you ever have those things in your house, you don't even know how they got there?
Yeah, they just magically appear.
I think maybe my parents brought it for me or something, but yeah, Brisbane Bears. I'll have to try and find it. It would be good if I could find it, but probably lost along the way.
You're from Brisbane, aren't you, Goxie?
Yeah. It was a little bit of a, what's it called? Like contrarian's choice, when I chose the Saints.
Yeah, how come you chose Saints? What was the story behind that?
Oh, just love the story. love the pain, I was like,
I feel like you would love the fact that the Saints go marching in, Goxie. That's what really sold it to you.
Yeah, that's it. Beautiful story.
Hey, Goxie. Before we let you go, I just want to ask your opinion. Are you into like ancient advanced civilizations? Like I don't know if Joe Rogan's had Graham Hancock on. I don't know if you've heard any of that.
Oh yeah, I'm all over that sort of stuff. But some say Brisbane is its own sort of advanced civilization. So
I've heard that.
All right, Goxie, we'll see you another time, or we'll see you in the next future. No, that will come.
All right, thanks, guys. Yeah, give us a yell. I'm happy to come on and play strange roles like Bears fans.
Love it, Goxie.
Easy, man. Thanks heaps for coming on.
By the way, look it up on YouTube. It's one of my favourite videos. Is the Brisbane Bears. It's called A Bear Is Born. It's so good. Just like
A Bear Is Born.
Yeah, look it up. Just like beautiful sort of, like mid-'80s fashions and
we'll get
graphics and it's beautiful.
Just iconic Australiana.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Goxie.
Dude,
cheers,
appreciate
Goxie.
you, Goxie.
Take it easy, mate.
Bye.
Later.
What do we say when we run out to play? Dare to beat the bear. What do we say when we run our way? Dare to beat the bear. We're hot, we're mean, we're strong, we're a team. We're the very best team you've ever seen.
We're the Brisbane Bears.
And now it's time for Uncle Glenn's Footy Tips.
All right, we're recording? Yep. Beautiful. All right. So we actually have a special guest on the podcast. For those listening along or following the Uncle Glenn's Footy Tips saga, we obviously have misplaced the tips, and we spoke to the gatekeeper a couple of weeks ago. He gave me a sheet of all the people in the comp, and I've been going around getting in contact with these other members to get their permission to open the safe so we can get the spare copy of my uncle's tips out. And most people have been replying and been saying there's fine. I've almost got them all ticked off. Actually, I noticed one name on the list. I thought I'd invite him on the podcast to just talk about it. It's actually Shane Biggs.
Biggsy.
Far out.
Biggsy, how are you, mate?
How you going, boys?
Really well,
What's going on? What's all this about? How'd you get your contact details and that? What's going on? What's happening?
Yeah, well, hopefully that's all right. Biggsy, we just got it from the gatekeeper. He assured us it'll be all above board.
You boys know the gatekeeper? You boys know the gatekeeper?
Yeah, we met the gatekeeper a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm surprised you know him as well. So it's such a small world.
I've never met him. I've just heard his voice. I've never seen his face, but yeah.
Well, apparently it's
that Charlie's Angels thing or something.
Well, we're learning it's quite a private competition, Biggsy. There's a lot of privacy, security going on. What's the go with that?
I don't know. Sorry, it's lagging up a bit. But I don't know, mate. I just got an anonymous tip about a tipping thing, pardon the pun. But, yeah, I just honestly, got invited to this thing. And, I got invited to this tipping comp. And here we are. I'm talking to you boys. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But
Do you know anyone else in the tipping comp, Biggsy? Do you even know my Uncle Glenn?
Yeah, did you go on Uncle Glenn's fishing trip?
Mate, I don't even know if there's anyone else in it. All I know is Glenn invited me, and here we are. So.
How did you first meet Glenn?
How do you boys
Biggsy?
know him again?
He's Brad's uncle.
He's my uncle.
No, oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you didn't know that. Of course.
surely
yeah,
I saw you were mutuals actually. Yeah.
Surely he's mentioned me on the classic fishing trip you guys go on.
I've been waiting for the invite. I haven't been invited yet. He said at the end of this year. So, but
Biggsy, you're obviously aware that we need all 12 of you members of the competition. Like all 12 of your keys need to be in the lock at the same time to open up and get the tips out. Are you all right if we borrow your key? Are you okay to do that for us?
Yeah. So my internet's real shit. It keeps going in and out. Yeah.
Nah, it's all
You
good.
need to get on that hotspot, mate.
Nah, it's mate, planes. Whenever planes go over, it fucking goes crap. Anyway, go on, continue.
Biggsy, where are you in Baghdad?
Baghdad Biggsy.
That was very reminiscent of the Birds, that Hitchcock movie. You would have nailed that. You would have nailed that in the 50s, Biggsy.
All right, Biggsy. Wrapping it up. So
Biggsy from Baghdad.
That's his next DJ name.
All right, so Biggsy, basically, is it all right if we do that? Do we have your permission and we can open up the safe there just to get my another copy of my uncle's tips?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you boys can have it.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell, that was easier than I thought.
Awesome, mate.
Sounds good.
Biggsy, you are so casual as, mate. That's why you're the man, because under pressure, you say, give me the ball. I'll let you through.
And I'll give you the keys.
I'll give you you unlock the safe. You do what you got to do.
Keys in the bowl. Keys in the bowl.
He's having a swinger party.
So that's what the tips thing is. All right, Biggsy, mate. Thanks for coming on. I hope you're well,
Thanks,
mate.
Biggsy.
We'll catch you another time.
Appreciate it.
Peace out, boys.
We'll keep you posted with the keys on how to do that. Cheers.
Love it. Biggsy, the man. The man.
Always go full wingspan shepherd. Just like a bird. I will keep you safe, my son. Care for you like a shepherd too. Always go
Fingerprints of the Gods. That's my first book. You need to ring. When I was writing Fingerprints of the Gods.
Alan Rickman.
Yes, when I was writing Fingerprints of the Gods,
of course I was writing.
I remember I met God and I looked at his fingertips. I thought, my God, he has quite large fingertips. Fingertips of the gods. Yes, I remember it clearly. Yes. And then all of a sudden I thought, wow, God, he has quite big fingertips. Yes, I remember thinking that. And then I thought, no. Wrong.
No, not tips.
Wrong.
But what do they give? Fingerprints of the Gods.
Hey, that is funny. That is funny.
Yes. That's right. Sam reminded me. Yes. I'm Graham Hancock. I remember now. They were fingertips of the gods, not fingerprints of the gods.
These are what I was writing: Fingerprints of the Gods or Conniptions of the First Epoch. And I was thinking,
and the epoch actually is related to the Ewok, which is from the sixth Star Wars,
the Sixth Sense.
Yes.
In the Senate.
And Bruce Willis was there, and that child who turned out not to be a good actor as an adult.
Shyamalan.
Yes. I was writing Fingerprints of the Gods, and I thought, wow, me, Graham Hancock. Yes. Fingerprints of the Gods.
M. Night Shyamalan.
All right, now they got that out of my system.
That was
Let's
good.
do it.
Put that in the pod. Intro. That's the intro.
Yes.
That'll be the outro.
That's the intro to the outro.
Yeah.
That's the intro to the outro, or just at the end.
Or just that.
Just as a bonus episode.
And the video's just of Brad.
Yeah, just sitting there. There's all this voice of me, but it's just Brad sitting there, like, just thinking.
Yes, and then I thought,
Like, it's actually like Brad's thinking it, you know?
Yeah.
It's actually not a bad shout.
All right. You ready, Robbo? Face rubber?
All right. Welcome back to another end of an episode.
Another end.
Another end to
thank
another
you.
episode.
But is it really the end?
There's been many ends before. I'm on board now.
I can't sit next to this guy.
Once again, life is in cycles. Actually, Clarkie's just good. Dust off the ancient text.
fingerprints.
Fingerprints of the gods. I'll pick a page at random.
Yeah, please.
And read off of them.
No, come on. You got to do one of these ones at least. You got to. I'm bit random because I'm feeling like keeping moats here a little bit longer. But can someone just give me a song? Give me a song.
We'll play it underneath.
You can do that speaks and specs thing.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking
I know, that's why I'm doing it. I hate
that Matchbox 20 that Stocksy would run out to. She said, baby.
Oh, perfect.
This doesn't work if we all know
There was another way in, further down, with a descending corridor, more than 200 feet beyond the point where the plugged end of the ascending corridor had been found. I've always wanted to do that. Now I can safely say that I did it.
All right, should we start the outro again?
I think we're overdue for another civilization here.
I agree with you.
This seems like decadence completely.
I agree with you.
All right, let's get this.
Can we start again?
Let's get this civilization back on track. So, firstly, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Give us a like or share on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Do something algorithmically to help the podcast. Add a comment. Tell a friend.
Tell two friends.
Tell a friend from a fallen civilization.
And let's go somewhere where the book doesn't go in terms of past lives, reincarnation. Our souls would have been around in those other civilizations. Also learning
there definitely
from
would have been
that.
assholes in the previous ones.
Journey of souls. So like, I got a bit of lime pump action. I'm not minding it.
Brad, that is a lie because you had finished that drink and now all of a sudden you've got more liquid in there.
I noticed that. What happened?
Yeah, and where did you go?
And that, my friends, is the magic of the lime pump.
See you next week, guys.
They're going to say the ancient civilization.
I'm going to do my tweet.
Do the fucking tweet.
Motes is so keen to go,
I'm holding out for my tweet.
Yeah, hold out.
I'm talking about everything else.
Everything.
I'm just like,
everything.
Everything.
Yeah, tell me more about the lime pump you've got there, Brad.
Actually, it's more outside tap water, which has little bits of lime remnants from the previous lime batch, which
like
you
a
could say
previous civilization
that's
of
like
the
the leftover pyramids. That's the leftover. We're going, oh, where'd that pyramid come from? It came from the past. That's how you do a podcast.
Tied in a neat bow.
So just the cherry on top is the tweet. This is my latest tweet. Don't usually do the latest one.
Far out.
Here we go.
More of a throwbacker, aren't you, Snake?
Jackie Chan, master of kicking away someone's gun as they go to pick it up.
So true.
Even with like a stick, like a timber
Anything.
2x4, just anything he uses to get
Doesn't matter how far away.
He's definitely used his mind before.
I wonder if it's part of his training to wait until they're just about to pick it up.
Yeah. It's always right at the same.
I'm more preventative. If I see a loose gun on the ground, I put it in my back pocket.
Yeah, I'm taking that gun.
Yeah,
I'm pinching that gun.
He just knows where they are. They're all right on the ground because he can.
It's safe, mate. It's safe. Jackie Chan's always kept his gun on the ground.
Something to think about this week. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you next time.
Peace. Frio. Way to go.
I'm the Rio Duckers. Rio with the old day ho. We are the Rio Duckers.
If you leave right now, Sam, if you fucking leave, mate, you're fucking off this podcast, all right?
Hold on, Reubs. No.
Oh, Sam, you know I was only joking, mate. You know we need you. Oi, mates, why don't you come sit your pretty ass back down on the couch next to me?
This is why I got into podcasts. Ancient civilizations, lime pump,
Yep.
and
Where was the third thing?
Brisbane Bears.
3 things.